Good afternoon, everyone who have joined online and offline. Our Tamil Nadu Agriculture University has made mandatory that the external examiners who come for conducting Viva has to offer guest lecture. Today, our external examiner, Dr. K.N. Misra, accepted our invitation to deliver his guest lecture on land resource inventory and overview for the benefit of our student friends. We know the guest lecture offer great benefits to the student community, and it can be a great tool for the betterment of class. Normally, guest lectures are offered by individuals who are well-known experts and possess advanced knowledge in their respective field. In a guest lecture, a guest speaker may share his experience, then their ideas, real life scenarios, new prospects, and other kind of ideas that will be definitely useful for the students to enrich their academic qualities and also to decide their future career of research activities. At TNAU, normally we invite eminent entrepreneurs, then professors, other subject matter specialists to offer their guest lecture so that they can educate our students and update them with latest knowledge. With this purpose only, mostly we organize guest lectures in our university. So today our external examiner, Dr. K.N. Misra, Professor Soil Science from OUT Bhubaneswar, has kindly accepted our invitation and he is going to offer his guest lecture on land resource inventory. He has completed all his qualifications, including BSc, MSc, and PhD from OEAT Bhubaneswar. Then he started his career as assistant professor in OEAT Bhubaneswar in the year 1996. So since then, he is imparting quality education and doing better research for the benefit of farming community. He has guided 11 MSc AG students in the field of soil science and also 3 PhD students. Currently, he is operating 2 important major projects. They are smart projects funded by University of Hawaii as co-PA, then resilience project funded by Norway government as co-PA. Then he has also involved in the ICRE project on weed management as soil scientist, and also ICRE on IFS as a soil scientist. He has developed his expertise in the field of soil resource inventory. So that is why he has selected this topic. He is a good friend of mine, and we have a relationship for the past 30 years. So I think his expertise and his knowledge will be definitely useful for our students and staff members. So my request here is kindly make use of this opportunity. Try to interact with our guest speaker and make this program a successful event. With these brief remarks, so may I invite Dr. K.N. Misra, Professor of Soil Science from OEAT Bhubaneswar, to offer his talk on land resourcing.
Respected Dean, Agricultural College and Research Institute, TNAU Madurai, Head of the Department Soil Science, and senior professors for soil science, PG and PhD students. So I am invited to deliver a talk for the benefit of the faculty and students. So they have chosen the topic because currently on the World Bank assisted Department of Soil Conservation and Watershed Department of Government of Odisha funded project is going on in Odisha. So altogether there are 2 land resource inventory partners involved in that project. One is NBSS LUP and Kolkata Center, our LRA partner, and another is UAT. So NBSS LUP Kolkata, they are acting as the lead PI because then they are expert in this generating in this land resource inventories, and they are guiding us how to proceed in this particular aspect. So UAT has been assigned to finish 4 lakh hectares within 2026, and they have been assigned to cover 1.4 lakh hectares within this stipulated period. So this, so I have chosen the topic. Let us have some idea, and I also invite our senior faculty members. Wherever there is a mistake, they can point out and they can interact with me, and I can also gain knowledge from them. So let us proceed. Land resource inventory. Broadly, the activities are divided into 3 categories. One is pre-field activity, then field activity, and post-field activity. So what is land resource inventory? So land resource inventory is the detailed information of the soil and hydrological condition of the soil under changing conditions. Under changing conditions, so what are the detailed information of that particular soil and hydrology? It includes all the characteristics of that particular soil and how that soil is formed, also their genesis, all those things that including soil classification also. Those are the points are included in the land resource inventory. So nowadays the land during conducting this land resource inventory activities, we are using high resolution satellite maps. So for this reward project, the reward full form is rejuvenating watersheds for agricultural resilience through innovative approach. They have given the name like that. Actually, this is the second phase of watershed management. First phase was has already been implemented in Karnataka in the name of Sujala 3. In the name of Sujala 3, that started from 2014 to 2019. Then there is a gap due to Corona, and they renamed that Sujala 3 to the reward. And it is again Karnataka is one of the implementing state, as well as they have selected Odisha. So for this LRI activity, we have been provided with a high resolution satellite map, that is World View 2, with 0.5 meter into 0.5 meter resolution, 50 centimeter into 50 centimeter resolution. So our Odisha State Remote Sensing Agency, they are preparing. They have procured the World View 2 map, and they have prepared the base map for us. Base map means they have superimposed the geology map, landform map, slope map, and finally they have prepared one terrain mapping unit map for our convenience, so that our field people can directly act on that base map. So first activity is image interpretation. Image interpretation, it is usually done in the laboratory itself, in the in-house. So there we have to study the image. So what are the different terrain mapping units on the basis of geology, slope, and landform? So in a micro watershed, how many terrain mapping units are there? Then within the terrain mapping unit, what are the different transects? Transects means starting from upper topographical position to lower topographical position. If you draw a line, then it covers your upland, medium land, and valley. So those are the transects. After selection of transect, we will select the profile points. one in upland, one in medium land, and one in lowland. So in a micro watershed, how many transects are there on the basis of this terrain mapping unit? So all these interpretations, they are made in the laboratory. Before going to the field, they have been trained by ORSAC and NBSS LUP. Our field team, they have been trained to read the maps, and they know, so these are the lowlands, these are the valleys, and these are the uplands, these are the forest lands. They have been trained. So image interpretation, it is done in the laboratory itself. And while interpreting that image with the help of a marker pen, they are delineating the boundaries. So after delineation, they are taking those maps to the field. Then they are traversing the sub-watershed, and in each sub-watershed there is around, say, depending on the size of the sub-watershed, the number of micro-watersheds varies from 7 to even goes up to 15 in our state. So they have to complete one sub-watershed. So there are, suppose in a sub-watershed there are 8 micro-watersheds. So they will be given terrain mapping units for 8 micro-watersheds. Along with the terrain mapping unit, they will be given the cadastral map of that micro-watershed. Cadastral map means those are the village level maps available in our revenue office. It indicates the survey numbers. Whatever the survey number present in their micro-watershed, those are indicated in those cadastral maps. So cadastral maps are given to them. Then ORSAC has given them contour map. They have given contour map with a 5-meter DEM, DEM, digital elevation model, 5-meter contour maps they have given, and cadastral maps. With these maps, they will move to the field. So they are also using the topo sheets for the interpretation to help the ground truths existing in that field. They are using topo sheets of Survey of India for sub-watershed interpretation. For micro-watersheds, they are using this terrain mapping units. So then they are going to the fields and they are locating the boundary. Locating the boundary, whether those boundaries they have interpreted in the laboratory, whether it is matching in the field or not. Actually, this is a river. They have delineated this within one boundary. There is a river adjacent to that boundary. Whether it is present in the field adjacent to that boundary or not. If it is this side or that side, so they will rectify the boundary. They will rectify the boundary accordingly. Then, checking the accuracy of image interpretation, then location of soil profiles, as I have mentioned, they have located the transects in the field and they are verifying the transect in the delineated the transect in the laboratory, and they are verifying whether that transect is actually depending the field condition or not. Whether that profile point which they have fixed in the laboratory, it can be possible in that particular piece of land or not. If some in the land some unavoidable situations are there, they may shift the profile to some meters this side and some meters this side, but it should depend that particular land. Upland means upland, medium land means medium land. Then after profile study, they are collecting the samples, different horizons for profile from different horizons, and also ORSAC has given us a grid point map of each micro watershed. So for this study, they have fixed the interval of grid point is 320 meters. That means each grid point is depending on 10 hectares of land approximately. So depending on the size of the micro watershed, the grid points they varies from 50 to 60, may go up to 70 also, 1000 also if the micro watershed size is bigger. So that grid point map they have given are also the grid point coordinates also. So the field team, they are using the GPS and locating that grid point 1. Yes, this is grid point 1. This is grid point 2. So grid points are meant for surface soil sample collection, 0 to 20 centimeter only. And grid samples are used for nutrient management plan. They are estimating 14 parameters from the grid samples, and the profile samples. What are the parameters we need, that I will be showing in the coming slide. So these are the field activities in the different districts. So in micro watershed, in addition to the parameter used at sub-watershed level, then sub-units of landform based on slope and subdivision within each slope class based on the image characteristics like the color, tone, texture, pattern, shape are being carried. So in the micro watershed, again within the slope class, what are the other color, tone we are observing in the satellites? So suppose we have delimited the boundary of this slope, upland. So within that upland, what are the different color tones are available? Which color tone is matching with what land use type present in the soil? So on that basis, we can delineate the minor boundaries. Already I have told you, ORSAC is providing us the terrain mapping unit on the basis of geology, landform and slope. So these are all the activities that I have discussed. First, we have to check the accuracy of TNU maps in the field itself. Then what are the different points, profile, whether that profile points are correctly laid in the map or not, and whether it is matching in the field condition or not. Then after profile study, we are delineating the series boundary, and finally our ultimate mapping unit is your soil phases. Soil phases, they are the ultimate mapping unit of that particular microwater. Suppose there are 8 series identified in that micro watershed. So within each series, there may be one phase or one or more phases. Phase level differentiation is done on certain surface characteristics like your texture, slope, erosion, graveliness. So these are the parameters usually taken into account when you are delineating the boundaries up to soil phase level. Then collection of soil samples of each soil series, collection of grid samples for nutrient analysis. So these are the post-field activities. Then after sample collection, the samples are deposited in the laboratory. Then they are again the field teams, they are recording everything in a profile sheet. They have given profile sheets describing each parameter. They have to fill those parameters when they are studying the soil profiles, and they will deposit that profile sheet to the laboratory people, and they will their interpretation, whether fine tuning of that interpretation will be there in the laboratory. Then preparation of soil maps and thematic maps in GIS and soil site suitability. Actually, when this generating the data will go for land evaluation. Land evaluation generally land capability, land capability classification, soil site suitability classification for different crops. So these are the different land evaluation processes we are adopting. Then generation of LRI atlas and preparation of LRI reports and the generation of LRI cards. I will show the example what they have done. So this is the detailed method of soil survey. Traversing the watershed using those cadastral maps and base maps, then identifying the landforms, geology, slope and other features, selecting fields depending land units, then soil profiles, they are usually exposed up to 2 feet of depth, or if the soil is shallow, then up to parent material at least. Then studying the soil and site characteristics, grouping the areas based on similar soil and site characteristics into different land management units. Then preparation of crop, soil and water conservation plan, and socio-economic data. It is one of the important component that has to be included when you are using this data for your preparation of detailed project plan for that area. So this is the image or map of a terrain mapping units. So these are the different profile points selected in the laboratory and they are cross-checked in the ground. Ground truthing is done. So these are the transits of another micro watershed. So this is actually the cadastral map with grid points. So here you see these are the grids. These are all grids. So they have given a number to each grid and they have given the coordinates also. So this is the contour map with 5 meter depth, 5 meter contour. These are the LRI parameters usually generated from the soil, from the soil profile. Depth, texture, graveliness, color, slope, erosion, drainage and flooding, soil structure, available water capacity, then two land evaluation processes, land capability and soil site suitability, and organic fertility parameters, organic carbon, pH, then available macronutrients as well as micronutrients. Then site characteristics. What are the site characteristics around that profile? Slope, erosion, drainage, flooding, whether that particular land is subjected to flooding. If flooding is there, then during what period and how many times flood is coming to that area, that you have to mention. Texture, salinity, waterlogging, any rock outcrops are there or not, vegetation, land use and modes. So these are the, so for profile, these are the data that we have to generate from the soil profile. Here the texture, structure, moisture content, available water capacity, infiltration, permeability, then pH, organic carbon, then cation exchange capacity or exchangeable bases. From that we can derive the base saturation percentage or exchangeable sodium percentage. So these are how the transects are existing in a field condition. So starting from summit, then shoulder, back slope, foot slope, toe slope, then drainage. So we are drawing transect depending starting from upper topographical position to lower. This is ridge, upland and valley. Then finally we are preparing the LRI Atlas. So in LRI Atlas we are giving all the database of that particular land unit. And when you are integrating this cadastral map with our soil series map, we can get the information on soil survey number wise. That means we can get generate data for each farmer also. What is the nutrient status of that survey number in which the farmer's land parcel is soil, climate, water, vegetation, crop and cropping pattern, socio-economic conditions, marketing facility, help in identifying soil and water conservation measures, required suitability for crops and other uses. So LRI Atlas will give you the detailed database so that you can generate the soil site suitability for different crop management plan, nutrient management plan, and soil conservation plan also. So in LRI Atlas, we will be following the same pattern as developed in Sujala 3. So some symbols are used, some legends are used in that LRI Atlas. So we'll see. So these are the legends usually used in the LRI Atlas. So this is the legend of the soil series. Suppose in a micro watershed there are 20 soil series. So this is legend of example of the legend of one soil series. CKM, this is the series name. Series name is named after the say village is there. The big village is there. Or the micro watershed name is there. You can say one micro watershed name is say Bellary. So we can use the last three letters and Bellary 1. You can put this is Bellary 1 series. So under that series there may exist one or more number of soil phases. So soil phases due to variation in any of these characteristics. So this is texture. If there is variation in texture within that soil series, then we can get number of soil series. For variation in slope, erosion, this is graveliness. Graveliness classes are there, erosion classes are there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slope classes A, B, C, D like that. So this is the legend of a soil series. So I am citing the example of one of the micro watershed of that Sujala 3 project. So these are the series map. Series map. So this is one series. Series boundaries are there. So each series will be represented by one color. In the soil map, each series will be represented by one color. So you see, within this series, these are the survey numbers. When we are superimposing the cadastral map with the soil series map, so it will within this series you will know what are the survey numbers are there. So series wise information already you have generated. So you can get the survey and number wise information also from Sujala 3. It is one integrated watershed management program. Already that project has been conducted in Karnataka. They have given the name Sujala 3. Might be they have started with Sujala 1 and finally came to this Sujala 3. So this is this watershed management program that involves this land resource inventory, then information from hydrology and information from agrometeorology, and with the integration of all these data, they are preparing one detailed project report for one single micro watershed. So that report covers the land management plan, the crop management plan, the nutrient management plan. So from that report, you can get everything related to that particular micro watersheds. So that is that Sujala 3, it has come up with another name. They have given a reward. And currently it is going on in Karnataka as well as. So this is the LRI card. Finally, for each, we have to produce a card like this. So here, farmer name wise information you can get. We will get the information survey number wise. So within survey number wise, again you have to incorporate the database. Say survey number 1. How many farmers are included in that survey number 1? The farmer plot boundaries we have to collect and incorporate. So farmer's name, then information, gender, micro watershed name, an address, soil sampling, in which year soil sampling has been done, surveyor hissa number, area, annual rainfall, and these are the informations of that soil. Depth, texture, graveliness, slope, soil erosion, land capability, available water capacity, soil water conservation plan. So these are the informations. All the nutrient parameters, these are the informations. And here the soil site suitability information is there. And the final output will be this LRI cards. And all these things they have uploaded in a portal. So in that portal, if a farmer wants to know the status of his plan or the nutrient management plan for a particular crop in a particular season, he can click that and he can know the.
It's like a soil health card.
A soil health card, yes. Just like soil health card. Then a little bit on this crop suitability plan. Already might have known these things earlier. So for to develop the soil site suitability plan for different crops, we need these informations. Energy requirement, that means the temperature, radiation, and day length. Then the moisture requirement, rooting facilities like texture, structure, soil depth, stoniness, nutrient requirement, mostly your organic carbon and base saturation percentage. Then susceptibility to toxic elements and workability or trafficability, slope, surface stoniness, rockiness, soil moisture, and field preparation and harvesting. So these are the information required when you are developing soil site suitability for a particular crop. So for soil site suitability, we have to take into account the number of crops which farmer usually growing in that particular area, and what are the other possible crops that can be grown matching with the soil and climatic characteristics. So these are the data sets usually required for soil site suitability. Already I have told you. This is length of growing period. It is one of the criteria for soil site suitability, because each land parcel has a particular length of growing period, and whether that particular length of growing period will be matching the crop cycle period or not. Already we know how to calculate this length of growing period. So for minimum minor millets, we need minimum 90 days of length of growing period. And for different crops, these are the minimum requirement of length of growing period. Then, as per the FAO, the suitability classes, they are divided into two orders. One is S and another is N. S is for suitable and N is for unsuitable. Then, on the basis of limitations, again, each order is divided into number of classes. For example, suitable, the order suitable is divided into three classes, like highly suitable, moderately suitable, and marginally suitable. So this classification is done on the basis of limitations. Highly suitable means no or less than 3 slight limitations. Then moderately suitable, more than 3 slight limitations, but less than 3 moderate limitations. So accordingly, the unsuitable land is divided into two classes, N1 and N2. N2 is permanently not suitable, and N1, that is currently not suitable, but it can be brought into suitable classes under adoption of certain reclamation procedure or land management plans. So these are the limitations actually used. The small letter they are used to in the suitability legends. So climatic hazard, erosion, flooding hazard, graveliness, workability, topography, moisture availability, nutrient availability, then soil costing, rooting depth, texture, drainage. So these are the notations used. For example, this is the suitability class S2W2. So order is suitable. Class is moderately suitable. 2 indicates moderately suitable. Then what are the limitations? Limitation to wetness is the limitation, and the wetness degree of wetness, that is 2. So this is the evaluation process, characterizing of existing soil, climatic and land use conditions, then development of soil site criteria or crop requirements. Actually, NBSS LUP, they have developed the soil site suitability of most of the crops grown in Indian conditions. What are the S1 for rice, S2 for rice, S3 for rice, kharif rice? Whether those conditions are matching with your land conditions or not. If not matching, what are the limitations? And if the limitations are there, then what is the extent of limitations or degree of limitations? Accordingly, the matching is done. Development of soil site criteria already developed by NBSS and LUP. Then matching of crop requirements with the existing soil and climatic conditions. Then choosing of best fit among the crops and selecting the same as the alternative. So first it has been developed by FAO. Then some other scientists, they have refined that procedure. CIS, he has refined that procedure. But the suitability criteria developed by CIS, it is mostly not applicable to India because our crops are different. Then Sehgal, he started some work, and finally NBSS LUP, they have come up with the suitability, soil site suitability classification of majority of the crops grown in our country. So this is the flow chart. Climatic data map, soil data map, and topography map. From those, we are getting the land characteristics. Then we have a crop requirement. Then we are matching with our land characteristics with the what is the requirement of the crop, and finally we are deriving the suitability classes. So this is one example. For rice, these are the conditions for S1, and these are the conditions for S2, and these are the conditions for S3. So we will match these conditions with our condition. That is with the characteristics we have generated for our condition. Then we will see whether that rice will fit here or here. So this is the suitability of rice in Odisha. NRCS will be, they have developed this.
So the previous map is given by NBSS, sir.
NVS.
Previous line. Soil size.
Oh, this is NVS.
NBSS.
NVS. They have developed this table for majority of the crops grown in our country. And for this project also they have refined this table. They are refining. We are yet to reach that point. So this is the suitability for red gram. One of the water said in Karnataka. These are the colors. Each color will represent the suitability. So this is how land suitability interpretation is done. Suppose a soil, there are two soils, A and B. So soil A is highly suitable for cotton and marginally suitable for maize. And soil B highly suitable for maize and groundnut and marginally suitable for cotton. So soil A, it is very deep, moderately drained with cracking clay soils on gently sloping land with algebra of 150 to 180. Soil B is moderately deep, well drained, loamy soils on gently sloping lands with algebra of 120 to 150 days. So evaluate it for maize and groundnut and cotton. So depending those with those characteristics, this is soil A and B for maize. So depth for maize, soil A comes under S1, drainage S2, S3, S1 and S1. So one S3 is there. So it comes to finally S3 here. S3. And we have limitations with respect to texture, because texture is S3 and wetness 2. We have these two limitations. And for soil B, it is S1 with respect to all these characteristics for maize. So it is S1. No limitations are there. And for groundnut, again, we have S3 here and S2 here. So it becomes S3 TW. What is TW?
Texture.
T for texture and W for with this drainage wetness. And for cotton, you see S3 is there. So it comes to S3. D means depth. Depth is S2. Then D texture. Texture is S3 here. And this C climate is this length of growing period. So it is S2 here. So it becomes S3 DT C. The small letter notations, they usually indicate the limitations with respect to that particular part.
Length of growing period is starting from sowing to harvest.
Length of growing period, it starts with that it starts from here. If you are plotting the precipitation against the 0.5 PET, it starts from here and it ends with where this two curves intersect here, and plus after this period also there is moisture in the soil. When the rainfall ceases, also we have residual moisture in the soil for some of the period. So how much days it will take to exhaust that residual moisture, that has been taken into consideration. Approximately there is a broad generalization. They are dividing 100 divided by the mean actual evapotranspiration, AET. 100 divided by the mean AET value. What is the mean AET value per day? they have to collect the AET value for 365 days. Then they have to derive the mean 100 divided by that mean value. This period plus suppose it is 22 days. So you have to add this period plus another 22 days. So this is approximately how they are calculating the LGP. Of course, the agrometeorologist they have derived some finer methods to calculate this LGP. So, we found that soil A, it is highly suitable for cotton and marginally suitable for maize and groundnut. Similarly, when we have matched the land characteristics with crop requirements, we have found that soil B, it is highly suitable for maize and groundnut and marginally suitable for cotton. So these are the utility of soil site suitability assessment. So these are the suitability class they have derived for different crops. Hydrology already we have discussed. Then this is actually the flow chart. Initiate the BSS for crop suitability. So we have to initiate the decision support system for crop suitability. Survey number, area, farmer details, soil site characteristics as per LRI, weather and climate, and these are the parameters we need. So assess the suitability for selected crops. So calculate the number of S1, S2, S3 and N secured by each crop by using crop suitability matrices. So the procedure just I have mentioned it. Then if the assessment shows N for at least for one parameter, reject the crop. Then assign the ranking to each crop. Actually in suitability matching, they are following this law of minimum. Law of minimum. Then after law of minimum, again to fine tune the suitability, they are going for BC ratio. Internal prioritization for crops that have received the same ranking based on S1, S2 and S3 and BC ratio. So suppose we have S1 or S2 for this piece of land, we have S2 for maize and S2 for groundnut. So which crop we will go? For which crop we will plan? So in that case, we have to collect the productivity and BC ratio. That data is required to fine tune this soil site suitability classification. Then display the list of crops suitable in priority with limitations as subscript and the crop cost benefit ratio. So this is how some of the activities that we have done in that project. Next. So that's all my side, and I invite some questions from the students.
That's prepare LRA cards for individual farmers based on DSS and soil base level. Basically based on surface characteristics or soil profile characteristics. LRA card for individual farmers.
LRA card is based on that soil series data.
Soil series, then
Yes, so each soil series.
we are going for 595 texture map. Then the LRA card is based on individual farmers wise. The farmer will prepare for survey number. Are you following surface characteristics of a particular area or soil profile characteristics?
We are covering profile characteristics as well as grid samples.
The profile, is it possible to study soil profile in individual farmers' holdings?
Base level.
Base level,
We're telling
base level that depends upon the soil profile characteristics.
Base level. Profile data.
My question is, Are you following surface characteristics or individual farmers holding profile characteristics? Are you studying soil profile individual farmer holding or you are extrapolating the data?
No. Suppose in a micro watershed, there are 10 soil phases are identified. So each phase will cover some survey numbers. And within each survey number, there are farmers. So that data has to be incorporated. That information, within each survey number, who are the farmers?
From one survey number, 500 farmers will be there. 500 farmers.
So,
Because in Karnataka, they have done like that.
so farmers holding, what is the average farmers holding in micro watershed? Average holding of farmers.
That data has to be gathered and incorporated.
Definitely, it's not possible to study soil profile individual farmers holding.
So
Definitely, it's an extrapolation.
extrapolating that profile data will be on the basis of soil phases and that nutrient management data. Then point data will be converted to polygon data. Then accordingly, that nutrient management plan will be from the grid data.
What is
Why is that?
adoption percentage of LRA cost to the farmer? Adoption percentage, you are giving some constraints and potential and constraints. What is the adoption percentage? Whether the farmers are following LRA cards very seriously? Are they following the LRA
It is
cards?
taken to the farmers.
Farmers.
Yeah.
The result of this,
Oh, result.
how it is taken to the farmers.
Result means the farmer can know what crops can be grown in his land. And if this crop is grown, what are the nutrient management plan? So if the nutrient again, how much say NPK, how much NPK will be required for that crop. So all these informations have to be go uploaded in that portal. Then if that land is needs some soil conservation measures, then the hydrology people, they will be forming the soil conservation measures in that entire watershed. So hydrology things will be taken care by them. So these are all the information will come to a single portal.
So first question is, what is the adoptability rate?
Adoptability, sir, we have just started. Adoptability, Karnataka is claiming that their farmers are doing a lot of things on the basis
From
of.
my point of view, they are testing the soil. They are having soil testing laboratory. As far as Tamil Nadu is concerned, each every they are having soil testing laboratory. They are analyzing the soil samples by the Department of Agriculture, but they are simply throwing the cards. And they are following their own recommendation. Let us take the any crop. They are dumping the fertilizers. Soil health card is not being followed. What about LRA card? That is my question. If it is followed very seriously, the farmers begin to wonder in India.
I don't know. On the basis of Karnataka Sujala 3, the World Bank, they have some access to some persons in the center, and they have chosen Odisha as one of their targeted area. And finally, the project has landed in Odisha, and OET became a partner. So we are just in the beginning stage because we have started just gathering the LRA data. So then after a few months, there will be preparation of DPR by integrating all the LRA informations and hydrology informations and other information from the farmers also. So after DPR preparation, then let us see how the implementation part will be going and reaching to the farmers. And they are claiming that they are very much successful in Sujala 3. On the basis of Sujala 3, they have formulated this reward. We don't know actually whether under Sujala 3, really the farmer they have got the benefits or not.
The claiming success in terms of what criteria? Sir? How success is claimed in terms of yield or profit?
Their improvement in the productivity, their crop profitability, their livelihood, all these are indicators.
Must be based on the returns.
Definitely.
Productivity of production.
Yes.
For example, you are saying that red gram is suitable in particular block or particular district. Mean how many farmers are adopted? whether their income is increased or not, and from that area, from that block is productivity or production is increased. Based on that only we can see the
Yes.
success rate of the adoption of this particular
crop
practice.
change,
Yeah,
That what is S3? That means some erosion is a problem. Then they will adopt the soil conservation plan on the basis of this data, and they will put some ponds,
But,
something like that. So that can become from S3. It can
we
become.
have so much information.
Hmm.
We have voluminous of information based on the what our Saravana point and pointed. It's a very valid thing only. People are analyzing so many lakhs and lakhs of numbers for samples analysis, both in institute as well as the government of concerned government laboratories. We have many mobile and soil testing laboratories. It's all in the paper only, not.
Not going to
Percentage of adoption is very limited.
practical utility.
Based on the soil.
projects, sir. Actually, we can.
Yeah,
continue
they are
so many
bringing
data.
out, yes, we are.
But if it is really.
Actually,
practical-
madam, this watershed program has been initiated so long.
Yeah, long back.
So earlier also World Bank has funded one watershed project during NATP.
Right.
NATP.
Yeah. That's right.
NATP, they have started a watershed, integrated watershed program all throughout the country. Coastal ecosystem, hill ecosystem, then some inland ecosystem like that. In Tamil Nadu, here was it is also one of the center for the coastal agro ecosystem system. So also Odisha. So we have finished that project, and nothing came out of that project.
So we are generating so much basic information based on the soil characteristics and the soil. But
This
thing is,
basic data.
Yeah,
I mean, it is.
the thing is, there should be some implementing agency exclusive for this type of the project.
Implementing agency is state government.
State government
No
means
other agency.
they should employ some, just like extension officials, they should employ between the farmers and our system, so that they can take this information to the farmers level and they can advocate. These are the places where this type of the crop can be grown. So that's some exclusive agency.
There,
We can take up. Otherwise, it is very difficult.
All this
Department
data
of
should not get
Agriculture,
stagnated.
soil conservation,
It is,
and Department of Horticulture, all they are coming.
Yeah.
This
yeah, it is just a very good.
there is a concept.
Because you know the soil depth, what are the life cycle of the growth period you are bringing out, and the based on the growth period we are choosing the crops also, we are selecting the crops and other constraints. So all this they will give you very good information. But thing is only adoption.
Database will be generated.
Yeah.
So big question mark is that whether we can utilize those data.
Yeah, that is another.
Bit on.
In the medical, the government is giving lot of interest. Suppose polio immunization throughout India, in particular day they are taking up. No, they are giving so much importance. They are putting some camps in village level, district level, and throughout India, in particular day they are organizing. Such type of initiative should be there in the agriculture also. Suppose if we want to implement such type of project, they should have some exclusive implementing agency that should be supported by the government. Then only it will reach the farmers. Otherwise, even 3/4 of the information is, we can say very well it's varied. Based on the laboratory and the field data only, we are generating the information. We are putting in the form of the reports and other things. And it is, if it is not properly implemented, it will be remain in the paper only.
Remain in the.
Yeah, paper. Close.
How do you calculate the graveliness? Graveliness.
That is the standard. Yeah, classes are there.
Gravel classes are there.
Classes are there.
So actually, we are collecting a certain volume of apples.
Okay.
So they are taking the weight. Then they are sieving it. So again, they are taking the weight. So from this much, this is the gravelness. They calculate the percentage, and some gravel classes are there. They are matching for which class it comes. Gravelness.
Yeah.
SPGS in Coimbatore for permitting us to conduct this guest lecture on the land resource inventory. And I thank our Dean ACNR in Madurai for helping us to conduct this lecture. And I thank the guest speaker, Dr. Narayan Misra from Bhubaneswar. Has come over here from a long distance and has given a special lecture on the land resource inventory, which is highly useful for the students. And I thank our professor and head soils and environment for help for conducting this test lecture. And I thank our professor Sanmu Sundaram sir for coming over here from Coimbatore for this guest lecture and the external viva. And also I thank the Dr. Saravana Pandian sir, Professor Soil Science from the Horticulture College, Trichy. And also I thank all our staff members. And also I thank our student friends for attending this guest lecture. And also I thank the Department of Agriculture Economics for providing this hall for conducting this guest lecture. Thank you.